What's going on, y'all? Site Perspectives, GeoFucks here. And I want to talk about poverty pay. That's right, the 2 P's, poverty pay. And how a lot of these companies, businesses, organizations, jobs, despite being multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire corporations and companies, they do not pay their employees a living wage, let alone a decent wage to start out on. Now, get this. A lot of people come in with well, if you're not educated, you don't have a degree, a certification, or years of experience, how dare you think that you deserve a living wage or a decent wage to start off on? Yet, there's more and more and more and more people who have degrees, not only a degree, but multiple degrees. Not only a certificate, but multiple certificate. Not only a few years of experience, but 5+ years of experience. On top of the fact that people are coming in with degrees, certification, and experience. They're triple threats. And guess what? They're still not making a living wage or a decent wage. And I disagree with people when they say, well, you don't have years of experience or an education, so therefore we shouldn't have to pay you. I don't care who you are. If you're working a full-time job, you should be making a living so you can take care of your family, regardless of your education. Because keep in mind, we weren't saying that 50, 60 years ago when people were going to these manufacturing companies such as General Motors, literally high school dropouts walking into GM and making a family wage, aka one person could work and provide for their entire family. We wasn't saying that 50, 60 years ago. So why today you're mad because people at fast food restaurants or Walmart or convenience stores are asking to be paid a decent wage to start off or a living wage? It's no different than the high school dropouts 50, 60 years ago that were literally walking into these manufacturing companies and getting paid a family wage. A lot of you are hypocritical and delusional. And another thing, I'm going to go even further with this. You claim to be so religious, you claim to be so religious, so Christian, so this, so that, yet you're sitting up here wanting people to suffer. That's not very Christ-like. Like I said, a lot of you are hypocrites. This is why the minute I see someone who claims to be so devout to their religion, but then you sit back and look at their behavior, and it's just like, right, you're full of shit. Anyways, so poverty pay. And what gets me about these organizations and companies and businesses is that they constantly, and I mean they constantly, brag about how much money the company is making, because everything is about attention. So they will literally make videos for the entire company to watch every single month about how much money is being brought in by the business, but in the same breath, paying people $12 an hour, $11 an hour, $10 an hour. People, and mind you, these are people with no degrees, and these are people with degrees making the same amount of money, which furthered my point of how college is a scam in this day and age, because all you're doing is wasting years of your life that you can't get back, going into massive student loan debt to work somewhere that didn't even require your education. And even if they did say, bachelor's degree required, 9 times out of 10, you're still not making what your bachelor's degree should be earning you. I mean, seriously, it's 2020. Nobody should be making less than $20 an hour. I can see if you're at high school living at home with mommy and daddy and you're a kid, you're a teenager and it's your first job and you're making $10, $12 an hour. But adults? No. Okay? No. And then you have jobs who like to advertise perks. Like I said this before in other videos. Millennials, Gen Zers, some of us need to grow up, okay? And grow all the way up. Because a lot of these companies will sit up and advertise the perks of working at their establishment. But when you look at a lot of the perks that they're talking about, it's like they're talking to kids, right? So their idea of perks is, oh, we've got free pop and coffee. We have the free gym and a basketball court. We have a video game room. Oh, we have Starbucks. And it's like, number one, Planet Fitness is $10 a month. There's a $20 a month membership as well. So that's no longer a perk. I mean, you can go to Planet Fitness for as low as $10 a month, $120 a year. If you include the membership startup, it might be like $150 for the year, which is still relatively low. And it's 24/7. And there's multiple locations across the country. So the whole having a gym at work shit is not a perk. It's not. Okay, number two, me going to the gym is not helping me pay the bills. Me going to the gym is not keeping my car full of gas, because a lot of us have to what? Commute to work. And gas isn't getting any cheaper. You know, so, and a lot of us are driving on average 30 minutes to an hour to and from work. So again, how is that free coffee and pop working for you? People need to have living wages. People need to have decent health care. Because that's another thing. Then they'd be like, oh, we have health care. But pay attention to the fine print. Yeah, you have health care, but your deductible is sky high and they're paying you poverty pay. So good luck on affording your deductible. So in many cases, people don't even get to benefit from the so-called health insurance that is offered through their so-called employer, because the deductibles are so high and the wages are so low and stagnant. Then the insult to injury with the whole, well, you gotta work your way up. You gotta start from somewhere. How are people supposed to work their way up from out of poverty when they're being paid poverty pay? You know, you can't even cut even. So what are you talking about? Then there's the, well, people need to move, you know, which a lot of millennials and young people do. You know, they'll stay at a job for a few months, and if things aren't really going as planned, like not making a living wage, not seeing promotions and opportunities for growth and advancement, a lot of millennials will be like, they'll be at the job for like 3 to 6 months, and then they bounce. They bounce and they go somewhere else. And being honest, I don't blame folks for going somewhere else. Why should someone stay somewhere where they're not making a living, where there's no opportunity for upward mobility and advancement? You know, where you're already seeing discrepancies, because that's another thing I've learned through my experiences with jobs, is jobs lie. You know, they have a good marketing team to make themselves look like this progressive company that has all these opportunities and benefits. And if you notice, more and more and more, jobs are not posting the salaries or wages to the positions that they're offering. So the only way for you to find out the truth is for you to apply. And a lot of times you're wasting your time. You'll sit up here, they'll make it seem like it's just lovely, progressive, fun, work-life balance job, but then you get here and you're not making any money, but you didn't know you weren't going to be making any money because they didn't post the wages or the salary of the positions that they were offering. Again, it's a lot of misleading information that goes into marketing. Okay? Like I said, people will sell salt to a slug. And if you know anything about salt and slugs, you pour salt on a slug, it will shrivel up and die. So again, they will literally sell you poison. That's why I said don't drink the Kool-Aid. And if you remember the Kool-Aid reference, rest in peace. If you think about it, it's not a laughing matter. But the Jim Jones situation in the late 70s, where he literally put poison in the Kool-Aid and had all of his followers and supporters and believers drink it, and they all died. So that's why they say don't drink the Kool-Aid, because a lot of these jobs, they're pouring a lot of poison into the Kool-Aid, okay? Because you get there and you find out for yourself, this is some bullshit. But anyways, I had to make a video discussing poverty pay because you see it so much in this day and age where these jobs are just like, even though they're multi-millionaire, multi-billion-dollar corporations, I mean, there's jobs where, like I said, they're making $10, $20 billion a month, but then sitting up paying their workers $12 an hour. And then wondering why they have such high turnover rates. Because, again, nobody's going to, one, be overworked and underpaid. So, like I said, you do have the option to hop around, but the problem with the hop around thing is, how are you supposed to build rapport? And a lot of jobs, they don't like looking at resumes where you're at a job for 3 to 6 months and you're moving to another job, because it makes you look like you're not consistent, you're not loyal, etc. But nobody's looking behind the surface that, again, how can someone be loyal to a job that doesn't pay them a living and doesn't offer them opportunities for growth and advancement? Again, we're not working for our health. We're working to pay bills because we live in a capitalist society. We're not here because we want to be here for the most part. I mean, let's be honest. If a lot of us had a choice in the matter, we wouldn't even be working the majority of the jobs we have. And we all know that. So most of these jobs are literally a means to an end. Nobody's trying to be here forever. That's not people's goals in life. Anyways, this video is getting long. I'm going to do some more installments where I talk about poverty, the work environment, living wages, healthcare, and other topics. So stay tuned.